U.S. Senate. And joining us now to talk about national security is Texas Congressman Troy Nehls. Congressman, great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us. Let's start with Mayorkas. How is it that people can avoid becoming physically ill when listening to him?
Well, Lou, thank you for having me. I voted to impeach Mayorkas. He needs to go. I think he has violated his oath to protect the American people with this administration's policies, and he seems to just continue to do everything he can to protect the borders, our Kamala Harris and this administration. But when he said that this is a crisis, what they'll do is maybe he made a slip. He'll say, but we're managing the crisis, folks. Here is a border crisis, but we're managing the border crisis. You'll watch him. He'll be on one of the programs, ABC, NBC, MSLSD. He'll say, what I really meant to say is there's a crisis.
Univision.
Yeah, that's exactly what he'll say. But you could take these articles over there. Now we impeached him. We did our job. You could take them over to the Senate. But quite honestly, I don't think it goes anywhere because let's be honest with the American people. Chuck Schumer has been in charge of Congress for the past several months.
Well, there's no question about it. Chuck Schumer is also in charge of Israel. I have to say, it's really quite remarkable. Chuck Schumer telling the Israelis to hold elections. Joe Biden telling the Israelis that they have to have a unilateral ceasefire. They have to let Hamas have reinforcements, and on it goes. What in the world is going on in this country that suddenly it is okay to be anti-Semitic on Capitol Hill, on 1600 Pennsylvania? It is okay to be anti-Israel and pro-Hamas? What in the world is happening in this country right now? The Marxist Dems have gone out of their minds.
Yeah. I think Joe Biden, he understands he's underwater. He's in trouble. He's trying to find a way to appease both sides. You've got hundreds of Palestinian protesters up here, pro-Hamas people. They're up here in our streets up here, and quite honestly, trying to intimidate members of Congress. And Joe Biden realized that what took place in Michigan with that primary, a lot of people said, I don't know, Joe Biden, you better do something to get Israel to stop, bombing in Gaza and protect the Palestinian people. And he's caught there now in a very difficult situation, but it was self-induced. It was self-induced. If he wouldn't have shown weakness in Afghanistan and everywhere else across the globe, Hamas would have never gone into Israel. They would have never gone into Israel under Donald J. Trump. So he's trying to find a way to play both sides. And now he's trying to appease them by saying, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to build a port. We'll build a port in Gaza and Palestine, provide aid. He's underwater. He's doing a miserable job. He's a failure, and he just demonstrates weakness, and our adversaries take advantage of it.
As you were talking, I was thinking that sounds just exactly the way I would describe your Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. He's underwater. He's confused. He's unprincipled. He's trying to work both sides. He's trying to find a way out from standing up for principle and for the right thing for the country, the national interest and the Constitution. And you know what? I have far less empathy for him, frankly, than you might imagine. I have no empathy at all, as a point of fact. This is a man that means to destroy the republic himself. He has joined, locked arms with the Marxist Dems who are tearing this country apart. His perfidy, his corruption is one of the soul, as far as I'm concerned. How can your conference, in good conscience, reauthorize the license for the FBI and the Department of Justice to spy on American citizens?
Well, I don't think he's going to get if it's just up to the Republican conference, it's going nowhere. It would fail. He's going to need to get Democrats to support this thing. I don't know if he's going to just bring it to the House floor for a vote. It'd have to go back to the Rules Committee, or he'll try to do it under suspension, meaning he'll need 2/3 of the House of Representatives to get it done. But he had a difficult day yesterday. We all sat in a Republican conference at 4 o'clock. People were airing their grievances with it, whether it was the Fourth Amendment issue that Warren Davidson brought up, or whether it was Andy Biggs' amendment with the you must require a warrant. So he's in big trouble right now. Today, we're trying to figure out when we will be voting, if we will be voting, if any type of compromise is being made. But I tell you, the FBI cannot be trusted. We've made it very clear, and they have demonstrated to the American people that they cannot be trusted. They have violated all sorts of laws. They went against Carter Page, and I know this is several years ago with the Trump campaign, but the American people need to be reminded what they did to a great American hero, Carter Page, by using FISA, lying on the warrant, spying on him because he was affiliated with the Trump campaign. What Comey said about Donald Trump, this potential of Trump having prostitutes urinate on him in Russia when he was over at the Ritz-Carlton. This was all done 5-6 months before general election. The FBI cannot be trusted. Read the Durham report. They lay it all out there. I will not reauthorize FISA. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Congressman, as usual, you and I conclude in absolute agreement. And thank you for your observations on that 2,000-mile border that Joe Biden turned over to the Mexican drug cartels without protest from the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Mr. Mike Turner, speaking of outright fools and knaves. Congressman, thanks so much. Congressman Troy Nehls, speaking of American heroes, thanks for being with us.